We back up in this thing. You can't roll with us if your last name don't got no loyalty. Podcast party poppin', but you already knew. I've been rolling with these folks. This that Monday night crew. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world. Millennials versus the world like you. Millennials versus the world like. Millennials versus the world like you.
Yo, what's happening, good people, man? Welcome back to the first show of the Monday Night Crew of 2025. What's happening, man? It's your boy K.Mims, the only spot you get authenticity and entertainment at the same time. I got the ladies of the show, Miss Asia, Miss Princess. What's happening?
What's happening?
I got my bros, DJ J Dub, Louis B. What's happening?
What's happening, people?
Chilling. Hey, man, appreciate everybody tapping in, man. Please subscribe to the page, hit that bell so you get all notifications of any content coming out, whether it's Monday Night Crew, Last Name Loyalty, Traffic Jam, or the Kickback. So appreciate everybody that's been showing love, man. But how everybody been, man? We back in this thing, man. How was everybody's holiday? How was everybody's break? How was everybody's everything? How's everybody feeling?
Dang, we ain't been together that long. That's crazy.
Been a little minute. It's been a little minute.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back with the group.
For sure.
It's been good.
Okay. Lewis, how you been, bro? How's everything your way?
Brother. I'm blessed, bro. This sums it up. I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening. Jay, how you been feeling, brother? How's everything your way? You wild, dog. You wild, man. You wild, bro.
Hey,
Perfect timing.
Shout out to Lewis. Appreciate you, bro.
But how's everything your way, though, bro?
Nah, it's going pretty good, man. I can't complain, man. I'm excited.
For sure. You want to tell them your new sponsor?
Yeah, it's 37. Is it 3708?
Oh, I hear this, man, bro.
1738.
That was good.
Yeah.
Is that the address?
Don't you start messing up our sponsorship?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
hey, look, let me cut that out.
Lewis, I already know he was going with that. Like, nah, we ain't about to do that.
Is that the address? That's the start of the street where the store at?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, all right.
Hey, if you have not got your tickets, my bad, I'm doing your job.
I hate this dude, bro.
Cannot.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, you shut me up.
All
All right. So last night, man, the Grammys came on. I'm not gonna lie, I was just internet watching for everybody that won. So I ain't gonna lie, I got everybody that I knew. So really quickly, we got Beyonce who won the album of the year and best country album. Salute to her. Kendrick Lamar had a clean sweep with Not Like Us. He had record of the year, song of the year, and best rap performance. I think he won something else. I'm not gonna lie.
Best music video.
Yeah, he won
Best
five
music
total.
video. I'm not gonna lie.
And it was another one.
Yeah.
Because he won the most that night last night, didn't he, Princess?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I believe her name is Dolce, won rap album of the year.
Yeah.
Rap City and Erykah Badu brought home an award. Salute to my man Chris Brown, finally got a best R&B album of the year, deluxe.
It's his second one.
Okay.
He hasn't gotten one in like 10, 12 years.
Yeah, he won the same award in 2011 for Fame.
Okay, so his second one, Tim's won best African music performance. And Alicia Keys got the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. So, man, any real thoughts on the Grammy? Who won? Who didn't? If it matters anymore? If music's still the same? I'm gonna just say this one thing. I really did not know how disconnected I was from music until I started seeing all the people who won last night.
The Grammys always makes me feel like that, though.
I ain't lying, bro.
And I'm big on music.
Brittany, what up?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, Brett.
I'm with you on that, Keenan.
Huh?
I said I'm with you on that, man. But I will say I really enjoyed the best new artist category. All of them had really good performances and good songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just glad Beyonce. I'm not even my wife a crazy Beyonce fan. I'm just glad she got that country album, even though I haven't heard it in its entirety. I think it's a big FU to a lot of people, so I'm glad she won it. And I'm gonna just be real. That's why I'm stopping. I think Kendrick, you can't say you ended Drake's career, but he put a major dent in it, bro.
So let me
definitely.
quick. Why are you glad that Beyonce won that?
Because I think sometimes, bro, good music is good music. Even though I'm not a country artist, like that album connected with a lot of people outside of just her fans. And I think sometimes you get the politics of it all, get caught into who wins what. But in reality, bro, that album was a really good album from what the feedback I hear. And when I hear it every other Saturday when it's playing in my house, like I really didn't hear too many bad songs off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Do you think that it was based off her name though?
No.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Only it was something based off her name. Come on, y'all.
No.
For her,
100%, Jay. Agree.
come on.
If you do the research, she got a lot of real country artists, especially African American, to work on the album, right? Much like her Afro beats, like it was authentic to the genre. However, right, and I listen to country music. It wasn't the best album, and I think what hurts is that she finally won Album of the Year, and it was for that album when I know in my heart, and I know people know that she's had better albums that should have won that award.
Yes,
For sure.
And I think that I think if there's any takeaway I have is that it's like y'all kind of gave her this because you knew she probably should have had it for Lemonade.
Fact.
Lemonade was dangerous, boy.
I could agree.
Absolutely.
I could agree with that.
Lemonade had jokers arguing in the car and you ain't even do nothing. Nah, for real. I think Lewis, I'm not gonna lie, man. Again, I didn't listen to it in its entirety. I think she made it very authentic, but like I don't think she got it off her name though. I will go as far as saying that, Jane. I had to disagree with that. I don't think you went album of the year without it being I think to our ear, it may not have been the best. Do we have a country ear?
It's called the CMAs, and she didn't win one at all.
But there's a reason for that.
But that's my point.
There's a reason for that.
I agree, but that's my point. Right? Because if it's that good, then it would have gotten some type of acclaim in the space in which the genre is accepted. That's like us saying a rap award winning at, like when Macklemore won a rap album of the year, and he didn't win any hip hop awards, right? Like that album wasn't promoted heavily in our space, in our genre, and we didn't,
disagree.
See, with Macklemore, or with the point I made
about the thing with the CMAs, like. If y'all look at Texas Hold'em as a song, even though like Texas Hold'em it's a TikTok song to me, in my opinion. Like that's by far not my most favorite song on the album by a long stretch. However, that song did numbers on all charts, country charts, all the charts, and it didn't get one nomination. There's a reason for that, and it's because they didn't want her in the room. Same way they didn't want her in the room whenever she had a country song on Lemonade, Daddy Lessons, when she performed it at the CMAs, and they hated the fact that she was on their stage. There's a reason why there was no nominations. That song was entirely too big for it to not be nominated at the CMAs, and there was a reason for that.
So, Princess, you don't think that record was that big because of her name? I think if anybody else did that, it wouldn't have been the same. It was big on her name.
It was big because it was her. I mean, it was big because it was Beyonce, but it's also like a TikTokish song.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not a country song. I think like we kind of steer away from that. The genre still has it comes into play. Like, yes, it was a big song. Yes, it was Beyonce that brought the song. That's what made it that. But if we put some like country music, like to me, in my opinion, and I love Beyonce to death, I just don't think it was deserving of that, or even the CMAs. I understand there's some stuff they got going on, but as big as that award show is, like, I just kind of feel like it didn't fit the mold like it was supposed to. Beyonce had her own spin on it, but it didn't really fit the country mold for me. When I hear country, the first thing I'm not going to Cowboy Carter. Like, I'm not. That's not what I'm thinking of.
So my only thing with that is like, do we say the same thing for Bar Song Tipsy? Because that doesn't scream, and also Buckle Bunny by Tanner or Ardell. I think that's how you say her name, which was both of them were featured on Cowboy Carter. But both of those songs are not necessarily like your typical country songs.
I feel like Tipsy is I feel like it's an anthem. It's like a country anthem. It sounds like when I hear Morgan Wallen or Kane Brown, it sounds like that. It sounds like the genre to me. The violin, the banjo, like it sounds like that to me. Shabuzi song does it. He got nominated for a CMA.
I know.
I think so. I'll say this: two things, Lewis. I think the CMA is not as objective as we would like it to be. I think there's a lot of subjectivity in that. I think, Jay, when you say things like because of her name, you disrespect her talent a little bit. Like I'm not like
I don't.
I'm just saying. Does Beyonce name absolutely get her indoors musically? That but like
it definitely does.
But I
sit here and act like it doesn't. So anybody can come out with. So she did a country album that's not her genre, right? She's an artist, right? She's a very talented person. We're not going to take that away. But we're also not going to sit up here and fake it, act like anybody could have done that. But we have to be real. You have to say your name to get in certain doors, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let's just call a spade a spade.
That's not a spade, though, bro, is what I'm telling you. No, it's not. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing, bro. Like, I hear everything you're saying. I absolutely do. Let that genre not be led by whites, and we wouldn't even be talking about this. The only reason we saying this is because she tapped into a genre that we're not typically in or that we don't lead. If Beyonce made a gospel album next year, people will have what they want to say about it, but it will be accepted. If she made a jazz album, it will be accepted.
I disagree, man, because you got black people, you got Darius Rucker, you got all these other people that are accepted into the CMAs because it's authentic to who they are and the music that they made. Exactly. Lenny Kravitz is a rock artist. He's accepted into that genre. So it's I get what Jay is saying. Like, it's not authentic to what we know her as, and what has thrusted her in the stardom is not singing country music. So when she tries to pivot at the pinnacle of her career, I don't know if this is the pinnacle, she's been on top for a while, but at a high point in her career, she gets there because of her name. Because the quality of music for that genre is not up to par with what we hear. It's not.
I disagree, but I get you.
But are people not allowed to change and experiment in different things?
They are. They are.
But Princess, you can't take away certain things. And
like what?
Okay, the reality.
Jay, stand on it, Jay.
Hey, lie, bro. Jay standing on that joint, boy.
Really about to go there. That's like Bruce Jenner winning Woman of the Year.
Hey, whoa. Hey, Jay, that is nowhere it was.
No, bro. We're not. This has nothing to do with that. He won Woman of the Year based off of his name. That's it.
Her name.
We're not being real right now.
No, I'm definitely, especially because of the fact that a lot of people had a lot to say about the country album and that it's not country, it's not this, she shouldn't have did it, XYZ. I don't think that the country album of the year was just given to her just because. Now, one may argue that album of the year was given to her just because people are saying, okay, Jay-Z got on the stage last year and, she got it this year. So, I mean, I could hear that argument, but just giving her country album of the year, like, I don't think that was just given to her solely because of her name. It's too many people in the Academy that don't give a damn, and they've showed it year after year, even though she's Beyonce. So I don't think all of a sudden this year they would just change their mind and hand her country album of the year just because it's Beyonce.
To your point about the Academy, they did, if you were on when Harvey got up and spoke, who's an R&B guy, by the way, right? He spoke about how they shifted the voting and how they opened the pool up to younger voters. And I think you start to see more of an influence on outcomes. And I think that there's not, outside of Taylor Swift, I don't think there's a bigger artist that would influence voters than Beyonce.
Absolutely.
I think some of it is politics.
It is. I'm real, Jay. You picked a good time to dip out. I don't know where you was going with what you said, brother, but I'm gonna just finish with the Grammy thought with this. I'm glad Rap City got a Grammy. Yeah, I think Jay said everything I think this segment right here needs.
He kicked you out, Jay.
Wait.
Nah,
Can I just say something? Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we didn't bring it up. I just still will never understand why people wear certain things to the Grammys, just because that was also really hot topic that I just thought was crazy. Outside of the music, yes, I agree with, yes, I hear everybody's point with the music and Beyonce and all that kind of stuff. And when we were having a conversation, I thought about even like K. Michelle, like nobody questions that she sings country now, right? Because it is a part of who she is. Like, you almost expect it from her, right? But I do think, to Princess's point, people just like Glorilla, she just had Maverick City in her album. And for a lot of people, it was like, what is she doing with a gospel? That doesn't make sense, right? But some people was just like, no, but it does make sense. It's like a crossover thing, right? So I definitely think that people can experiment and stuff like that. I just think that it was unexpected from some people, right? And also not expected from other people. I know I'm freezing. But yeah, I just thought Kanye's girl, whatever she was wearing, that was highly inappropriate and wildly crazy. Same thing with what's his name with the thing on his head. Why? I just don't understand it. And that's all I wanted to say about the Grammys.
Kanye girl was wearing nothing at all.
Yeah. But like Kanye know how to be Kanye. Like that's the way he takes attention off what, like, and then like knowing that he just left after that, Kanye just needed the attention he wanted and dip.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, he loves that, bro. That's just who he is. It was insane though. I'm like, bro, who would sit there and nah, dog? I couldn't get it. Was insane. Any other thoughts on the Grammys?
Shout out to Chris Brown. Woo.
Yeah, you know, Chris Brown don't really get the respect he deserved for real. He really don't. It's sad. And you learn. I'm gonna put Usher in this category real quick too. Like longevity don't always help you. Like to be good for so long, or like how Lewis just said, like she may not be at the pinnacle because she's been on top for so long. Like after a while, people stop respecting what you do because you do it at a high level so well. Like Chris Brown is still making good music.
I can't agree with that.
Okay,
well, my boy is on the opposite side today.
Yeah, he got a nap today. He's sitting down.
Oh, he ain't hold that phone.
Yeah, he's sitting down. He got to stand now. He got both. Look, you know what I'm saying?
Hell no, not today. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jay. Say what you about to say.
You not froze, boy.
Nah, he jumped in luncheon.
What's happening?
Oh man. Hey, to your point, Keenan.
Lord.
Hey, but look, Keenan, to your point about Chris, my wife and I was having that discussion, and Usher. I think Chris has pushed Usher to push out more music because Usher would kind of put out something and kind of go away for a couple years and come back. But like Chris has been so consistent. And here's what's most admirable for me to Chris is that he had to overcome his own doings. And he's that great to where he's starting to win people over again. He's been so consistent by putting out good music, performing to the point to where he's now starting to win people over because a lot of the culture stuck with him, but he's starting to win those people back who tried or who like despised him. He's that good to where you have to recognize his talent and his greatness. 110%. I'm proud of him, man.
For sure.
That's true.
Hey, Jay, what were you about to say about people being on top?
I was gonna give basically talk about Usher and how he's been on top for a very long time. And
Usher had like 2 bad albums though.
Out of how many albums?
I know, but Usher went off the deep end really bad with those 2 though.
Like that longevity.
And I'm an Usher fan. Usher's my guy.
Are you just saying that because of the genre that he tapped into, which was more like that techno dance?
Nah, Hard to Love wasn't techno.
I'm talking about one of the albums. I forgot which one it is.
Nah, I'm talking about Hard to Love and what was right after that? It wasn't that. Are you talking about with Oh My God and all that stuff?
Yeah, that era that he was in. Yeah.
No, that album wasn't bad to me. It was Hard to Love And I can't remember. It was one either right before or right after Hard to Love, and then he kind of pivoted back. But they weren't, to me, they weren't up to par to me for an Usher album. But I just don't think people respect when you have longevity like that. Marcus Sales said Usher wasn't on top at one point. Whoa. I'm saying he might have the music. He was always on top, though. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Get him,
Looking
Jay.
for myself. You're right. Looking for myself was the other album. Looking for myself was the other album.
At one point, R. Kelly was on top.
All right, bro. So Alicia Keys won.
My boy controversial tonight.
Yeah, like what is wrong, bro? You try to get us demonetized as soon as we cross over. Yeah, as soon as we cross over the partnership, you trying to like get us out of here. Yeah, Dave.
Not letting motherfuckers slide episode. That's what this is.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that verbiage of R. Kelly being on top was crazy too. That was insane. That was wild. But Alicia Keys won the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, and she talked about DEI being like a blessing and not a curse. So kind of switching over to y'all know a lot of major corporations got rid of DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. A lot of their programs. I just want to ask this: what is y'all thoughts on like it getting eliminated in major corporations? What does that say? And the second question I have is, do y'all think that I don't want to say like the voting situation. Do y'all think that we should utilize our spending power elsewhere when major corporations do that? So my two questions. The first one is, what are y'all thoughts on them just getting rid of it? And then the second one is, do y'all think we should utilize our spending power elsewhere when major corporations get rid of that part, get rid of the DEI?
I think we live in a racist country.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this whole spending your dollars here, spending your dollars there, man, I gotta live in America, and this is a racist country. So me personally, I'm not cutting my dollars anywhere because it is what it is. This is our reality. Does it suck? Yes. But I don't feel the need to cut my dollars anywhere. And then also as far as DEI is concerned, that was a scam from the start. We just fell for it.
Okay.
It was like George Floyd started, like that's when like 2020, when the whole Black Lives Matter, all that, like that's when everyone launched all these DEI programs and like we get Juneteenth off. Woo! Like we love Black people. Did we think that was gonna last forever in America?
No.
I think really some people did though.
Yeah, because I will say that it did kind of provoke some sort of change though. I have to say that because so for me, like DEI representation matters, and I feel like it put us in a lot of spaces where we were able to represent ourselves, or we could use that as a filter to be seen a little bit more versus us trying to work. We already got to work twice, 3 times, 4 times as hard to get to the top, but DEI was like that avenue to get there. Now that it's being snatched, it's a matter of us trying to figure out how do we reword so we can stay where we are. So I agree with you, Princess, but I also think it was a good time, space, frame, whatever, for us all to work to get to the top. And now it's just trying to figure out where do we go from here, or how do we stay.
So I think a couple of things. Oh, I'm sorry, Princess. Go ahead.
No, I said for sure to what she said about during that time us getting to the top.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's the best thing. I look at it like this though. Like even when I look at like when companies are getting rid of affirmative action, right? I think we live where we live. Let's get that out the way. But I also think like we view it as like, okay, it's like the Rooney Rule in the NFL. You have to interview a certain number of Black coaches every time there's an opening, right? But in that very same conversation, DEI was created to have some, right? So you went from battling for every spot to battling for these 3 specific spots. So in some cases, it makes the pool smaller. Now, granted, people are going to get in who they want to get in. And what I mean by that is if there's 10 management spots and we say, hey, these 3 are for people of color, and there's a pool of 20 people, like now you have 20 people battling for 3 spots versus 20 people, or let's say 20 people battling for the 10 spots holistically. I think back to what Princess said, we do live where we live, but I think it being these major corporations, like they're not really built on the same things that we're thinking about. Like it's not going, I'm not gonna say it's not going to impact us, but I think you can look at that another way. I think it boils back down into how do you get into the space that you're in? Is that the reason why you got it, or do you have the skill set and really fought to get there? I think the working hard to get a position ain't gonna change, regardless of what's in place. It's always been that way. But it really forces you to think where your value lies and how can you utilize your skill and experience to get to a different place.
For us.
Yeah, for sure. 110%.
Yeah.
Asia, Jay, Lewis.
I'm glitchy, so I've been trying not to talk as much. I think a couple things. I think with the whole DEI, I think people are narrowing what it actually means. And I think therefore, like when people hear DEI, they think Black people and LGBTQIA plus. DEI is so much more and speaks to so many different types of people. So like when now there's less women in positions, I don't want to hear it. So now when there's more, single or married people or people with children, don't want to hear it, because all those things, people with disabilities, right? Or different abilities rather, like all these things are included, right? You can think about folks that are bilingual, right? It's like, are they now going to be discriminated against because they do speak Spanish, right? In different spaces. And so for me, I think it's just like broadening our understanding of what DEI actually is, and that it does not just impact Black people and people in the LGBTQIA plus community. I don't shop at certain stores know-how, so I'm not going to go out my way and just be like, I'm not going to shop here. But I don't feel the need to, I have an interesting thing, like when it comes to like spending my money in specific places. I always want to give, keep my dollar within the community, but then that also means holding the folks in my community accountable to their business ethics and the standard. And I'll say it just like that. So so my thing is just kind of like, it's like I don't know, but that's how I feel about. Those are my thoughts.
Lewis.
To your point about spending the dollar, I think it's virtually impossible to not spend your dollar with corporations of people who are overt about their dismissal of DEI or more introverted about it. So I think it's impossible to try to control that. As an African American, we are a minority. We look at minority, we assume it's us, but minority means the smaller group of people. We're one of the least represented people in America just by populace. So it's not even sometimes just about people being intentional and not having us around. We're just underrepresented because of just how many of us there are available. I think that any business, especially retail business, I think, any retail business, I think it's great to have people in the room who don't all look the same, who come from different backgrounds and cultures, who can present a different approach to things. And I think we go further as a country. I think that's what makes America so great, is because we all don't look like one thing, right? So I think that's beautiful. I think overall, diversity, equity, and inclusion is a great thing, a great tool. But I think when you force it upon people, it becomes disingenuous and the message kind of gets diluted and you don't accomplish the things that you want and you get a resistance to it, much like you're seeing now. I would say for us as African Americans, we can do a better job of really understanding what it's going to take for us to really get our voices heard. And I think it goes back to what Asia said about being intentional about how we spend our dollar and how we can move the culture forward. And I think it starts with identifying what that really looks like for us. So that's my perspective on it.
Salute. Jay, Brittany. I didn't hear from you, Brittany, I don't think. Jay, what's your thoughts, brother?
I agree with what Agent Lewis is saying. I mean, I think that
There you go. That's the Jay we know right there.
I think the big
Go ahead. That's the Jay we know.
Get the fuck out of here. I think the biggest thing is identifying those places to where as African Americans, like, you know, where your dollar counts and putting emphasis on those things. Lewis made a great point though with the minority thing. And I don't think a lot of people heard you, but it's not about the
What?
group. It's not about the group, it's about being underrepresented. You know what I mean? Like, we're not represented highly as we should be. And because we're not, I think that messes us up in a lot of different areas, man. And it's sad because we're like one of the biggest consumers, you know, throughout the whole country in everything, whether it's fashion, whether it's whatever it is, but we don't have enough people going to bat for us. And I think it's just kind of messed up, man. So like for me, at first, when I first heard this, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally going on strike with Target, they like, well, we're not gonna miss that $60 from you, boy. You know what I'm saying? So they
$60 is crazy. You stupid.
Like, we have more of an impact if we have people stepping up in our corner, then it's bigger than what our tax brackets are. So
110%, bro. We like to disagree in Jay better. Brittany, you got it. What about you?
I cannot stand you.
Nah, I mean, y'all said it best. I couldn't agree more. I don't think they'll miss the dollar. It's unfortunate for some of these organizations to do this. I do think DEI was everything Asia said, but I do think it's just a place where everybody can be seen, heard, and valued. And I think people undermine exactly that, right? Like it's diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're always talking about equitable resources for everybody. The Caucasian population tends to have a better reach for certain things versus a marginalized group of people where it's not always equitable for us. So removing that just makes it harder. I mean, us colored folks, kind of are used to that sort of thing. So it's just, I mean, it's a smack in the face because I felt like we were going somewhere, but really, like, back to Princess's point, they really just put a Band-Aid on things, a temporary like healing to the wound to allow us to get to the top, and then just snatched it right back off. So it is what it is.
And we also had a break. Mm-hmm. Y'all will put that together in your head. we had a break and we're back.
Yeah. Hey. Hey, look. So
there you go.
All right. So Princess and Lewis are bringing the vibes tonight, man. We about to get into the topics of the night. All right, I'm throwing over to my good peoples, man. Y'all take off. Lewis is crazy, bro.
What's happening?
Thank you, bro.
It's your boy. Hey, y'all. So we're gonna kick it off with a few topics tonight. I'm gonna go first, and I'm gonna kick it to our first link here on Instagram. So it's gonna pose this question. Kenny, you mind putting that up on the screen for us and our viewers?
I'm no funny, bro. Tell me which one, which video? No funny.
The very first one.
Yeah, the one that you and he said do this one first.
About the questions about your partner.
Okay.
No, sir, no problem. We have some technical difficulties. All right. First one. Question is, which first tells you the most about your partner? A, first date. B, first argument. C, first double date. D, first time having intercourse. E, first holiday. F, first gift they give you. G, first trip. What are your thoughts?
That's good.
You gotta leave those options on the screen. Yeah,
they are. They at the bottom.
That's a good one, y'all.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that at the bottom.
First,
yeah.
I got mine. Oh wait, I know I got mine.
I got mine too. Can I pick two?
Go.
Let's go. Yeah, let's hear from you.
All right. I think your first argument and your first trip. Those are the two that I think.
I like that one. Why do you say the trip? I know why you say argument. I want to hear your perspective on trip. What does trip expose?
everything really. You get to figure out their habits for real. Like, are they the type of person that they want to lay in bed all day? Are they the ones that they're up early in the morning? Like, how do they get ready? Do they even shower at night for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, how, like, what, like, even like if they, how tidy are they, right? Are they tidy? Are they not? I think you get to see a lot. Like, do they snore? Do they not? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on? Especially if it's a longer trip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the new environment. You get exposed to them in a new environment, and then you see how they adjust.
I agree. And it's like, am I tired of you? Are we arguing on the trip? If it's a 5-day trip, am I ready to get away from you on day 1?
Exactly.
So I would agree with you, Asia. I think the first trip, and then also the first argument as well, because you learn how someone handles conflict, how well they can communicate. If they get disrespectful, I think the first argument tells you a lot. How quickly you move on from it. Do they let it linger?
Yeah.
So I would agree. Keenan, what were you about to say?
I got 2 low key. The argument definitely. I'm not the argument because of how we resolve it more so than what we argue about. You know, first argument ain't gonna be nothing too crazy, but I want to see how we resolve it. You know, how we resolve, like, that's important. I think the other one is the first holiday, and I'm gonna tell you why. I get to meet you. That's like we done crossed over into some real now. Like, I'm about to get introduced. Whatever holiday you bring that person to, I'm about to meet the people that mean the most to you. And also, I'm gonna go here with it. I also want to know how long it took me to get to the holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like, did we do the first holiday 2 years in? And I'm like, damn, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? But I just, that first argument, dog, like, we might have done it all for nothing if that first argument don't go the right way. Abort mission if we don't get out the first one. You got to get out the first one, even if it's fake. You got to get out the first one. You got to get out the first one.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, abort mission. No lie. That's my opinion. And the holiday, I get to see what your people's like. I get to see how y'all interact, who you talking crazy to. If they like, which one is this? You got to know all that. You got to know all that.
Britt?
I'm gonna go against the grain. And I'm laughing because I really think like this for real. I'm gonna have to say the argument for sure, but also the first sexual encounter. And I'll tell you why.
I knew you were gonna say that one.
When y'all already know, when you your first time, y'all niggas be giving it y'all all. Like, be going in, right? So this is how
I love the way she be generalizing, bro. Like, they do that all the time. Like, that joint be crazy, bro. She generalize every time.
What does
dog.
giving your all mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
So
sound real like, pillow princess-ish.
I feel like, seriously, your first time you trying to some people
impress you.
I mean, let me not generalize like you said. Most people try to impress. Most people try to put their best foot forth. And if it's not where it should be, that will say a lot for me. Because I'm one of those people that's like, redemption, I don't really know. Like, we gotta see where that level of intimacy really was. So I would say yes to the argument, because everything y'all just said, trying to figure out how they handle conflict and conflict resolution, right? But then that first time having sex, like, yes, you can redeem yourself, but I just feel like there's so much thought process behind the first time that if you, I mean, unless you're nervous, I guess you mess that up. I don't know.
So can I ask a question? May I?
Yeah.
And I'm not being funny. I'm asking an honest question.
Mm-hmm.
In the name of ignorance, I'm gonna generalize for a second. Like, why is that so sure that he's going to be the one that messes that up? Like, you said, why is it so sure that he's the one that may
I'm
need
speaking from
redemption.
a female perspective, so it can be a female too that messes that up as well. For y'all on the other, it's not.
You don't feel the pressure the same way you think he would to make that first time to leave a memorable remark for him. I'm asking. I'm not a woman, so I'm asking.
I don't think we get the pressure as much
No.
as y'all do.
Yeah.
All right, so I got to intervene.
Y'all
Time
just
out.
you know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Now, I don't want to generalize either, but I'm just going to speak to really what we care more about the access than we do about the act. So if it's the first time, it's about how it transpires more so about leading up to it transpiring than more so it taking place. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you. The only pressure that I've felt or that I've shared with my peers at times about it is just how long it goes for. But outside of that, we in a routine. It's a regular routine. You know what I mean? So the only pressure I would say I've ever faced when it comes to that first encounter is making sure that I don't mess up getting to that place.
That's fair.
But as far as the act itself, nah, man, it's just like riding a bike. We just in the rotation. Like I don't.
So what you're saying is that you always perform. But what if you're not a good performer?
Mm-hmm.
I think you know that by now, Princess.
You would know. Yeah, you would know that. So it's like
You would think.
No, ain't no think. You would know because
hey, I'm gonna be real. She's going to know that before y'all get there.
Yeah, but I'm saying women will give you feedback. You come on now, you know.
Especially
but
black
this is what I'm
women.
saying. Hold on, this is what I'm saying. Hold on, Jay. Lewis said it's a routine. Princess saying is, what if your routine is bad routinely, right? Princess?
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is she's probably picked up on that before it's happened anyway. So you know this ain't about to go well. Huh?
Or the 5 women before that. They're not about to let you keep just going around just giving out mediocre. They're gonna let you know what's going on.
That's not true, bro. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's not true.
It's highly unlikely. But to Jay's point, it's highly unlikely you with 4 women of the same caliber and not get any feedback.
Like, come on now.
Can the feedback be silent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
But
don't
dudes
think
pick up on that. But that's kind of, we pick up on that, right?
Yeah, you know that.
But even if they do pick up on that, that doesn't stop them from
continuing to deliver the bullshit.
They still gonna get. Oh, listen, they ain't gonna turn it down.
Right.
Women lie. Yeah.
I'm saying you're gonna turn it down just because you're not good at it. You're gonna stop.
Bro, it's so many other factors to why women are giving it up that has nothing to do with performance at all. Like if you got there, if it's not no first night, y'all done put in a little time, y'all been dating, she done started liking you, loving you, or whatever. Yeah, you might be disappointed, but that's why it ends up still happening because they not just considering performance. Like
okay, but the question was the first time. Like I'm speaking to the first time, not a couple times. Because if I'm giving you a couple times, then I'm allowing you an opportunity to redeem yourself. I like you for another reason, and let's try this again. Maybe you're teachable. I don't know.
Yeah, but speaking to the first time, if it's the first time, barring any like one night stands, quicks, like okay, we here for a long time, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. If you've had enough time to like him and give him that level of access, whether it is disappointing,
mm-hmm.
I've seen where that's not going to matter as much if they already got to that point, is what I'm saying. Even though it is the first time. But like, if it ain't no one-off, we just chilling, I really like this person, I go in, it's like, damn. If you really like them or him, and it goes both ways, but we're speaking from your perspective, what you said is like, mm-hmm. If he made it there already, he's probably going to get a second strike off the strength of him making it there already, if it's not one of them one-off situations.
Nah, I gotta disagree.
Okay.
No, I would agree with you, Kenan.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree. Because if you're sitting here and you have the first encounter, and let's say you just bust early, that's okay. Man was excited. Cool. But if you out here serving up little meat, you ain't getting another trial run, my guy. I'm gonna just say
thank you for the description. Thank you for the description, Jay. We appreciate it.
Yeah, she already know that. She already knows that though.
Yeah, she knew that after the first encounter. What I'm saying is
she knew that, dog. She knew that. She knew that.
How she know?
How she know that on the first encounter?
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I ain't trying to be ignorant, bro.
Nah, please.
But if you hugging on her, kissing on her before that first encounter, she'll look. It's either, hey, if you hugged her and y'all ain't, so y'all telling me, never mind. I'm about to say something ignorant. I'm gonna be quiet.
That belly button.
Nah, I just think that's known. That like just because y'all got to the act this time, I mean that's y'all first intimate moment or y'all first physical moment.
Okay.
Nah, she know that.
Depends on the physical.
I think that Keenan, to what you're saying in response to that though, I think it's a bigger blow when like Shorty doesn't expect it and then he doesn't perform. Because if she expects it, then she's lowering her expectations, but saying, oh, because I like him, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like there will be that redemption round. But if she doesn't expect it and then he underperforms like severely, it's like, all right, I'm probably not giving you a second chance.
Okay.
It can happen that way.
I feel it.
Good point. Back to the question. Did everyone answer the question?
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Jay,
right,
did
cool.
you answer?
I did.
Oh, okay.
He said he tired of rejection. Oh.
Next clip, Keenan.
Yeah. All right.
And I want him to live like down the hall.
Yeah, same. And like sleep in separate rooms?
I don't want to live with my husband. I want him to live like down the hall.
Yeah, same.
And like sleep in separate rooms?
Go away.
I would turn.
No,
I
that's
would turn
1950.
that side of the house into a dual master. So knock down that wall between those. That's your side. This my side. You can come stay with me whenever. I can come stay with you, whatever. But we have separate spaces, separate bathrooms, separate.
I wouldn't do it that way, but I would definitely do like a woman cave and a man cave.
I
And
mean,
like,
sure,
you know,
but
have
where are
like
you
a-
sleeping every night? Are
Oh,
you
I'll
sleeping in
I'll
the
sleep
bed with
my
your
man
man?
100%
Right.
every night. But throughout the day, I'm trying to read a
Not
book.
necessary.
I'm trying to drink. I'm trying to do the things that I do. I want to play and make up. I don't have time for you coming around here
just
talking.
being
Shut
around,
the fuck
yeah.
up. And I say that I don't want to see him on the weekends. So I usually, we have different schedules. On the weekends, I can be there the dog. You go do what you do.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna start out with a comment. Hey, we're gonna start out with a comment before she better pay for that side of the house at that point.
Let's go.
Hey, now we talking.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Do you even like him for real? Like, what?
No, she can't like him.
That's crazy. The fact that she said like, she said I'll sleep with him at night, but I want separate spaces during the day because if I'm trying to read a book, like, why are you in here talking to me? Why are you with him? Like, how do
Right.
you interact? How do you guys communicate? How do you get to know your partner? Why do you want to be separated from him? And then when y'all are laying down in the bed at night, are you then choosing to talk? Like, what? I don't know. What foundation is that relationship built on? That's crazy. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, actually.
People don't really be liking their partners for real. I say it all the time.
Yeah.
I think everybody should have a space in their home, just not the bedroom. Like I think it's fair for, you know, that's where the man cave or I don't know what the ladies' rooms are called, but like you can have your little like vibe in your little area, you know what I'm saying? But not nowhere where sleep happens. Nah.
Right.
Like if you
Right.
got your little wind down situation, hey, go down here, I'm watching, don't nobody come down here, leave me alone. I respect that. I do believe people should have that. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know, I said, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like when not all women, but when women like that say that, like you have no idea how much you probably get on his nerves too, at all. Like that just seemed like you doing him a favor at that point.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you feel that way, trust me, he must feel the exact same way. Like, dog, what? Like, and I think what I hate most about this whole like separate but equal culture, like everybody want to be independent in relationships. Like, and it's so insane. Like, dog, I'm not doing that. If we start sleeping in second bedrooms, let's start talking polygamy.
Yeah, sleeping in a different bed is insane to me.
It is.
There's nothing like ending the night. Like, what are you in a different bed? I want you down the hall. Are you kidding me? No, I want to be in your skin.
Oh my God. See. No.
Yo.
So is getting in an argument, sleeping in the other room, okay?
Honestly, it depends on how bad the argument is. Because I also feel like people would use that as an excuse to be the time to leave. If it's a petty argument, you gonna go sleep in the other room?
Oh no, you said you are.
So that means you're just petty.
I'm not like that.
Okay. The argument would have to be big. Because never mind, I ain't gonna say that.
The only way I'm sleeping in another room if we got some understanding, we coming back to it the next day. That's the only way I'm sleeping in another room. I don't do no like blind, like I'm about to try to stir this up. Let me go in the other room. But people do need space sometimes, and people are tired. I do get that. It ain't gonna be the same person every time though. My back ain't about to be hurting every time we get in an argument now. Go let yours hurt a little bit. Nah, get some couch action yourself. Nah, dog. Especially, I'm gonna be real with you, and people may not be this honest, especially if it ain't my fault. If you pissed off over something I'm trying to prove to you, and you ain't trying to hear me, and I need space. Go get your space. It ain't gonna be me.
I agree with that. That's my point.
I think that's fair.
Because I'm gonna be real. I feel like no matter how mad you are, we should be able to turn our backs and go to sleep.
Yep.
It ain't that deep.
And I can still put my feet on you.
See, you see, Princess, you try to try to provoke somebody, man. That's grade A gaslighting. Get your feet on me, dog. You just dog cuss me. You got your feet on me? What? Got me bent, dog. Nah, I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
I said something about this at the pop party.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, I couldn't do it personally, but I know actual real life couples that it does work for them for different reasons, right? Like, and what's interesting is that when I've seen it with people, they've either been like in older generations where it's like, I got tired of listening to his snoring for the past 55 years. He could sleep over there, and when I feel like sleeping next to him, I sleep next to him, right? Or I don't want to listen to that sleep apnea machine, so I'm not going to do it every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen it with older people, and it works for them. I've also seen it with like the younger generation that are getting married earlier that still have that I want to be my own person, and so they even call like sleepovers with their spouse. Interesting concept to me, but it is a thing that is working for them, right? So like when I brought it up at the pod party, like I have seen it work for some people, right? For me, I look at it more, I think to Keenan's point, to what one of the ladies said in the thing, I like the idea of everybody has their own space. Just like whether it's an office, whether it's a makeup room or whatever it is, I do think that people should have their own designated spaces in the house. But yeah, like I don't think I've seen it work for people, and it makes sense in my head for the people that have been married for like, like 50 years. It's like, yeah, no, I'm not listening to that sleep apnea machine that I've been listening to for the past 37 years. I can see how that makes sense. That's all I'm saying.
How do you feel about? Oh, go ahead, Keenan.
No, it's your world. Go ahead, Princess.
I don't know how to take that. How,
Princess, just give us a list of triggers, okay? Just send us a list of triggers.
Like it's
and we'll
your
know
topic night.
what not to do.
Hey, Louis, trigger.
Go ahead.
How do y'all feel about your spouse or your partner living in a different state? Like, have y'all seen those videos going around of like Shirley Ralph talking about? I think she's been married for like, I don't know, 25 years, maybe more or something. And she lives in LA and he lives somewhere else or something like that. And she's like, it works for them. Like, does that work for y'all? Do y'all think y'all could do it?
No.
I'm too dependent on my wife. And it's not so much it's the emotionally dependency that I have, because
Louis B, break out the vulnerability, my boy.
It's true, man. Listen, man, like my wife is, and I think I don't even know if y'all noticed it. Like when we had the pod party and she showed up, like like my whole vibe, like, all right, cool. Like, hey, she's here. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we're so connected. And I think the irony is I say we more the opposite of what these women are talking about, because when we met, we were inseparable. Right? We didn't want to not be around one another. And a part of us, and a part of our reason of getting married is that I didn't want a life without her being present. That's my whole objective of my whole perspective of getting married is for you to be here with me. So the idea of not being with me, that just doesn't, I can't even fathom the idea. So being in a different state, I just couldn't, that's not something I'd be willing to do.
Nah, hell no.
Yeah, no.
If we had to do it for like a specific amount of time for a specific move, I respect it, but it's not going to be our long-term plan.
Yeah.
I think to Lewis's point, I share some of that similarity, not all the way like that. I just not a believer. I believe certain things got to happen in order for relationships to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog, if you like, I'm gonna be real. People ain't gonna want to say it, but like, take sex out of it for a second. I don't want dudes to tell on themselves, but everything that takes place in the bedroom outside of sex, like you're eliminating that. Like that's where you usually have most of your wind down conversations. Most of your vulnerability happens. You've taken your shower, gotten into your quote unquote rawest form to have these conversations. And like we have that, and I get up and walk across the hallway. Where the papers at? Where the papers at, dog? No, I'm not doing that because I'm gonna be. And I think the thing is, the older I get, I understand. Like for instance, right? We got kids. There was a point in our marriage. I'd be like, hey, man, if you want to go get a room away from here to get away from the madness and like go be like have some peace of mind, I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't bother me because it's a goal that has nothing to do with me. Like you just need to like just go. I know it's loud, but I'm not doing that and setting the precedence. There's no way that's in my mind. I'm gonna say absolute. There's no way that's happening and somebody not about to get the cheat. Sorry, even if it's emotionally.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, hell no. Start hearing voices through the wall.
I think there's special circumstances though.
Voices through
Like
the wall.
I really do think like for instance, I think it's based like look depending on certain occupations, right? So like military folks, like to Keen's point, it has a specific time. However, if my partner, if the person I fall in love with, that's like, you know, life goal and all that kind of stuff, and that's what he stands for, like that will be hard, right? It would have to be a decision that I would have to make, but people do it every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to sit up here and say like people in the military don't deserve, you know, love and happiness in a spouse. Granted, yes, I know that sometimes it can, you know, it could be in the areas with them too. But just saying, right? Also thinking about people that like travel nurses, for example. So for me, I do think like for a specific time frame, to Keenan's point, I do think that it is okay and it makes sense and people do it all the time. So I don't think that it's like, oh, because they're doing that, they're automatically going to be cheating. Like I don't think that that's always the case.
Hey, look, hey, fellas, never mind. Like, just think about if you had that conversation with your lady, you go back to your little bungalow on the other side of the house, and you hear that headboard vibrating through the wall. You're gonna be hot. You can be like, hey man, what's going on over there, dog? I just left over there, man.
No,
now you got to send a text like,
vibrating
hey,
through the wall.
Like what's going on, dog? Like, get the headboard going off. Oh, I just left. Imagine having a text to be like, hey, what's going on over there?
Hey,
Like, nah, dog.
back this.
Huh? Yeah, that's obviously what's happening.
He gonna see you back up.
Next question. So we're gonna pivot to that image, K Dot. All right. Women choose to have intercourse with who they want, while men choose to do so with whomever is available. In the long run, men marry who they want and women marry who's available. Sad reality. Do you all agree with this notion that women have sex with who they want while men have sex with who's available? in the long run, men marry who they want, as opposed to women who have to marry who is available. Do you guys agree with that?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree as well.
100%.
Hell yeah.
I never thought about it until I saw this broken down like this, and I was like, "Wow, that's facts."
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. So I gotta leave to make sure I say the right thing. I'm gonna tell you why it's like that. It's like that because when women busy having sex with whoever they want, when it's time for dudes to choose, they don't want that no more. That's why it's like that. I'm being real. I'm being real, bro. I think a lot of times in this new age culture we live in 2025. Hey, look, y'all might crucify me, but I'm being honest. I think it's fair for women to explore their sexual needs and fulfill their sexual desires. But every action has something that comes with it, unfortunately. Like you can't, that's the reality of it. So I think it ends up like that because yes, women do have sex with whoever they want. And if they want to have sex with a number that's abnormally high, at the end, when it's time for the guy to choose who he wants, might not be the case. It's not always fair, but I don't think that side of the sexual freedom thing is talked about enough.
But see, I didn't even take it that way. Like as far as the number, I just saw it as in like women have sex with who they want because typically, like it's consent or whatever, right? So I took it in that aspect, and not necessarily the amount of people who she wants to have sex with. And then the part about like they marry who's available is more so because it's like the man typically asks the woman.
Right.
I don't the way that not necessarily about the amount of people who she has sex with, but it's just the fact that the roles are reversed, kind of.
So the way I interpret it, when I don't disagree, let's take the number out of it for a second, right, Princess?
Yeah.
But I think the thing in it, to me, that correlates the two, the beginning of it went from sex and it ended with marriage. So the image itself correlated the two. Like it didn't say they date who they want. It didn't say they get in a relationship who they want. It said they have sex with who they want, and then at the end they marry who's available. So that image itself related those two to me. So again, take the number down. But if people do not want to say this, but I'll be honest. Unfortunately, if a woman I said this before with last name loyalty, and I got crucified. If a woman's of a certain age, unfortunately, and that is, take the numbers out of it, and she's been doing what she wants and been available to who she wants, whether it's one or two, unfortunately, she's going to get questioned. And it's not always that case for guys. That's where I feel like that gets flipped. So when women make the decision to live their life, which they absolutely should, when women do things that they want to do, which they absolutely should, unfortunately, that has a bigger impact on the decision later. It shouldn't be that way, but that's what it is in reality in my eyes.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't think that's just the encapsulates the whole point of the question, I guess, or the statement.
Yeah.
But I get what you're
agree.
saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I look at it much like Princess. I think women are more so the ones who make the decision in regards to sex actually taking place. And go back and check out our old clips. I do understand that men, initiate or make the decision on who they marry, right? While there's some exceptions, and there's obviously going to always be, nuances and anomalies. I do agree with that. I do agree with that. Now, to Keenan's point, the first part of it could impact the latter, right? And maybe limit your availability by being free. By being free, it can limit your availability, on who wants to marry you. But there's somebody out there for everyone. I'd like to believe that is the case.
It is, because the two free people, hey, boom.
Free
Both y'all understand the past. Let's move towards the future.
Two freebies.
What's up, Brittany? Let's hear it.
I'm on the fence. I mean, I understand the statement and I agree with it, but I feel like women control access to sex, right? Men control access to relationships, really and truly they do, because they're the one, the biblically, the man that finds a wife finds a good thing. But I do feel like we're living in a world today where we don't necessarily have to marry because of availability. I think that it's still a choice. We can choose to not, right? Just as much as a man, I don't agree with the first statement either as much too, because men don't always have to just have sex with what's available. They can choose too who they want to do that with. If they don't want to, they don't have to because she's available, or because you've been chasing, and now the opportunity presents itself, but there's something about her you're not connecting to. It's okay to choose not to go to the next round for whatever reason. Does it happen? Not often. So I'm on the fence about the statement. Do I believe it's 80% true? Yeah, but that other 20 is just kind of like, we don't necessarily have to follow those terms, especially nowadays. I don't believe in this, by the way. I hate this, but women have been proposing more often to men too. So that's not really availability. That's more of what they want. I want that man. Will he say yes or no? I don't know. But that doesn't mean that she didn't go after what she wanted. She got on one knee and decided to propose to him.
So I have a question within the question.
Mm-hmm.
When women say, hey, I'm going to go get married, I'm going to find me a husband. Would that be hard? Wouldn't you consider that to be harder if a man just says, hey, I'm going to go find me a wife? Do you feel like that would be more difficult?
Would it be more difficult for a woman to find a husband versus a husband finding a wife? Yeah.
Which one are you saying is more difficult?
The woman finding the husband, because men don't commit as easy as women do. I feel like it's frowned upon, really and truly. Again, it goes back to the statement, like men kind of control the scenario when it comes to relationships. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents.
Really quickly, we got a comment. Marcus said, only reason it's not like that for guys is because we have the expectation of being good to be able to be kept around. I feel you, bro. I
don't understand. I didn't understand that, bro. Could you break that down for me?
So I think he's saying like the only reason it's not like that for guys as far as being able to pick is what I got from it, is because we have to be good in order for her to want to have sex with us. Like we got to be good to be kept around. So it's not like that for guys in order for us to have access to the sex. Is why they control it. Like we got to be good to be kept around. Please clarify, but that's what I got it from. That's why we don't control that. Like we got to be the ones that's kept around in order for that access to happen. We could be selective, but no, we only have sex with women who allow us to. Definitely no means no.
Right.
I'm gonna just step out of this one. I feel strongly about some of these things, but I don't think it's.
Asia, what's your thoughts? What's your mature and thoughtful perspective here?
I had a lot of thoughts. I can't remember all of them right now, but I agree with the statement. Yeah, I do agree with the statement. I think that when we think about even sex, though, like that first part to what Keenan was saying earlier about like free and choice and all those types of things, I think before then, I think there are women who thought that by having intercourse, it would lead to marriage, it would lead to further commitment. And so I think that sex for some people was used as a tool to gain pleasure. I think for other people, they thought it would give them access to be that wife. So that's the first part. And then research has shown us that men just don't commit, right? I'm actually reading a book right now and it talks about that and the reasons why men don't. But I think because of that, then women are like, oh, wait a minute. So when the guy gets to pick, he told me he was going to pick me, but he didn't actually pick me. He picked somebody else. So I did that and I still didn't get chose. okay, yeah, then sure, then I will be free. And this is not for everybody, right? Not a blanket statement, but there are situations where that does happen. Connecting the two, like Keena did, I read it the same way that Princess did. And I think that, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all think that women, based off of this conversation, that women tend to settle because of availability when it comes to marriage? Like, we have to wait on the man, right? So if we did, to Asia's point, if we did all the things, if we had sex, if we, I don't know, check all the boxes that a wife is supposed to do, thinking that we can change their minds, or maybe they would see us in this type of light, and they don't. But then the next dude rolls around and we like him, but like, okay. But he's available to the idea of marriage. Do you think that a lot of women find themselves settling because they like the idea of marriage and the availability of that man?
I think it goes both ways. Like, I really think it goes both ways. I think that women do settle. I really believe that. But I've heard from like some guy friends too that like sometimes the woman that they truly are in love with, they're not ready. They're not mature enough to actually wife them up at the time. So then when they are ready, they end up with a good woman. Maybe not their top choice, I guess, or like their first love, but it's a good woman that they know will be there and all the things. And so she's around, so she's available. So it doesn't happen all the time, right? But I have heard that from some of my guys. I think it was both ways.
Britt, I do think people end up settling.
Mm-hmm.
I think because it's the part about the man asking the woman. And so, you may have dated around and you may not have been asked the question, or it didn't work out. And so when someone finally does come to you and asks you that question or wants to make you their wife, I feel like, especially once you reach a certain age, I feel like women do end up settling. It's not always, but it definitely does happen.
Mm-hmm.
What if
Because
they
it's kind of
settle?
like you have to take what's available. Like,
So I hear settle thrown around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened when, like, is it settling if you could? How is it settling if you could get what you want anyway?
you said if you couldn't get what you
You
want,
could get what you want anyway. How is that considered settling?
Because you're on to the next best thing, I'm assuming.
But are you settling, or is that what you just
settling means?
But both of y'all were
like you're really not who she wants. It's just you're settling because you're taking what's available. Like,
what if you
probably
can't
not
get
your
that?
It's still technically settling, because I could just still be single, even though like whoever it is that I'm gonna settle for is available. It's my choice of whether I want to settle or not. So I could just still be single and wait till whoever it is that checks the boxes or whatever comes along, if he ever does. But I mean, if I choose to go ahead and settle down with someone, it would be settling if they're not technically my ideal person or someone who I really want to be with. Some people just get to a point because they're like, I'm gonna settle because I'm ready to start having kids. I'm gonna settle because he got money. I don't really like him.
But that's like my question. Like, if you can check all those boxes, then go get that. But maybe you can't get what you think you want. Maybe you're not worth the trouble to all that. I mean, I think. Oh man, I want to get into this.
Hey, that's what I was going to. No, I want it to be you. I don't want it to be me. Go ahead.
If you got a big list of all those things, what makes you think that man wants you? That type of man wants you. That's my thing, right? If you want a 6 foot, dark, rich, providing, empathetic, vulnerable man, what makes you think that he's gonna want you? And if you don't get that, how are you considered settling? Maybe that's not something, maybe you don't have enough to offer that person. Maybe you're not able to get that. But you don't marry that, and you could, that's just kind of what, not from you guys, but that's kind of what I hear normally is that, oh, I didn't get that, so I'm settling for this guy. But maybe that's the best that you could get.
That's facts. I literally just had this conversation with somebody.
No, facts.
Oftentimes people think they're settling and it's really not a settle.
Yeah.
That's your level that you should have been looking
That's
for
what I was asking.
with.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say it.
Yeah.
I mean, Princess, you saved us though. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Because I'm like, well, why are you settling? Because if that's what you know you could get, then go get that, right? Put yourself in the environment or position to get that. Or maybe when you had it, you didn't want it at the time, and now you want it later on, but that's your fault. So how are you settling? That's the decision you made.
So, Lewis, in that case, in that specific case you just said last, I would say that's different. The only difference between what you said initially and that, which I agree with, if you once had it and didn't want it, then that checklist deems to be true to say that you could get it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like my thing is, I just, men and women, whoever your perfect build up or makeup is, can it be something you've experienced before that you know what it's like versus like grabbing shit out the air to be like, oh, I want this, that, and the third. But you don't even know, you're not remote. You've never experienced anything remotely close to that, but you just pulling from what you see. And then
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I kind of agree, but I kind of don't. I agree with where you're going. I think where you're going, but as a blanket statement, I don't always agree because there might be some things that a woman or a man or whoever has not experienced, but because they have seen I don't want to name things, but like because they've seen, let's say, somebody they've been in relationships with people who were just not kind to them, right? They didn't care about anything about them. They didn't give them any time of the day. Yeah, I've never experienced anything better than that. I can still want that. I can still want better for myself. You know what I'm saying? Even if I've never experienced it. So I can say if I've been dealing with a bum boy that doesn't know how to hold down a job, I can say I want a career-driven man, even though I've never experienced it, because I want better for myself.
So Asia, I'm gonna give you. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say what.
Go ahead, Princess. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's your world. It's your world. Good night.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I was gonna say for me, what I hear you, Asia, but what comes to mind for me is more so like somebody saying, "Oh, I want someone that's tall. I want someone that's got a six pack, but you big as hell." You know what I'm saying? The math's not mathing. You can't say that's your standard, but you ain't been to the gym since PE in elementary school. Like you just can't. You can't demand that of your partner, of a man, but that's not your life. Or I want somebody that makes six figures, but you make 30K.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. That's why I said I agree with where Keenan's going with it, but as a blanket statement, I don't think it can be a blanket statement because there's so many other nuances to it.
So Asia, if your checklist is like internal or non-tangible things, I think that's different to me. Like if you have wants and needs that you haven't experienced, it's like character, that's like a okay ask. Right. Now when that character come in that physical body that you got to question, is it about the character? You see what I'm saying? Like, so I think you want somebody that's career driven is absolutely fair, or you want somebody who charming, like all those things that's not external, cool. But it's like when you start making the list about things that are tangible or materialistic, it's like, okay, you shooting in the dark now. You know what I'm saying? Like, want somebody ambitious. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Want somebody who's, you know.
But I'm gonna say, like, there's a caveat to it to kind of go back to your point. If you want someone ambitious, they're not going to be as available to you, right? You're going to compromise and sacrifice things. So that experience point that you made earlier, I think it does have some validity to it, because if you want those things, you got to look at what's on the other side of that, right? As well. because that man
That's
that you
true.
had, that wasn't ambitious, but he was available, right? But if you get someone that's ambitious, he's not going to be as available.
That's true.
Mhm. Or if
I
you're
just
looking for
don't like
somebody
when
that's
people
ambitious, you need to be
unrealistic.
ambitious yourself, probably.
Yeah,
Because the person that's ambitious probably would want you if you're not ambitious.
that's
They
the
would
point.
be settling for you.
But that's the
Right.
experience. I think that ties back to the experience because you're ambitious. You know what comes with being ambitious, right? But if you ain't ambitious and you say you want someone that's ambitious, you may be disappointed with what comes out of that.
I
Right.
just
Yeah.
hate when people are not
So I think it's
realistic.
important to have some exposure. So I'll just kind of rephrase what my brother was saying. It's important to have exposure to the things you say you want in someone instead
Yeah.
of just saying them flat out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people need to stop lying to themselves, bro, and take a long, hard look, man. No funny. I hate that. I really hate that. Like, don't, nah, for real, man. Nah, for real. Don't be, nah. Hell no.
Telling
Almost
you,
got
man.
myself in trouble.
Everybody want a basketball husband, right? Want to be a basketball wife. You don't know what comes with that.
Yeah, you better know what come with it
You
before
better
you
know
ask
what
for it.
you better know what comes with that.
Hey,
You
but
want a
What
man
can
that's
you
in the top
tolerate?
1%? Imagine dating a man in the top 1%. You think you met somebody that's arrogant.
Yeah, you be humble very quickly.
To come on now.
Yeah, but I feel like the people that at least the way that it seems, I mean, I don't know anybody in the 1%, but I feel like sometimes like, and I'll speak from like a woman to man perspective, like these women, they know that. Like I just saw
Yeah.
a video and this woman, she literally had her hand out and her husband was stacking up money. It was like, don't call me, don't bother me, leave me be. And she had the money in this hand and she was like, okay. And she took the money.
It depends
And she
on the
was getting her
woman
for
and
some.
why they're
That's
there.
that's what I'm saying. I think that there are some women that they're like, yeah, I don't care. They're just like the women that we just saw in the video. Like, yeah, you go on your side of the house, I go on my side of the house, just pay the bills and like whatever.
They
Asia,
totally there for the money.
and you best
It's sad.
believe what he's knocking something off. I'm telling you. Ain't
You
no
guys are
dude
your
giving a woman
generation.
no hush. Ain't no woman giving no hush money. Ain't no dude giving a woman no hush money to like be chilling in the other room. Come on, man. Go get your retail therapy while I'm giving this physical therapy.
Gosh.
Yo, you wow.
But
Next topic.
okay, y'all can say that, but I bet okay.
We're agreeing.
I bet you
We're
say call me
agreeing.
when you on the way back.
Nah, Princess gonna be saying what next store we going to. You out there spending that damn money.
Don't put me in this situation.
Jay is off the wall tonight.
Don't put me in this situation.
Hey yo.
They acting different.
Yeah.
It's his new hoodie. It's custom. It's
Oh
custom.
yeah. Oh yeah.
This is the last one, right?
Yep. That's you. Uh-oh.
Y'all waiting on me?
I'm waiting on Princess. She had her question.
There's one clip, right?
No,
That
it's
was
your
all the clips I
question.
got.
We already did the clips. It's your question.
Oh, okay. Well, no, then that was the end then. No, actually, that first clip that had like the things listed out, I had wrote that out as a question.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. All right.
Okay.
Hey, great topics, y'all. We about to get into a fair foul and get up out of here. All right, man. So you know what I'm saying? We back in the fair foul game. You understand where I'm coming from? So we talking about marriage, talking about relationships, man. Making big purchases without talking to your partner. Is it fair or is it foul?
What do you consider a big purchase? It depends.
Okay.
It depends.
So what's the biggest purchase you'll make without talking to your partner?
It depends.
I buy
Nah,
a
hell
bag.
no. You said what?
I
Bad.
buy a bag.
A bag?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Before we get into it, I just want, is it fair or is it foul, y'all? And then we'll get into what type of purchases.
I said it depends.
It's
It's
foul.
The
fair.
segment is called fair or foul, Negro, not fair, foul, or depends.
It depends and it's fair.
Okay. All right. Where we going, Asia? What's your thoughts?
With your spouse, you said, like you're married. Let me see.
Partner. See, that's where y'all be getting out of it. Partner. Spouse to who it applies to.
Yeah, if it's a spouse, then I think it's foul.
Lewis.
I think it's fair.
Okay. Jay.
I think it's fair depending on what account it's coming out of.
Okay. I like where you going, brother. Brittany.
I think it's foul.
Hey, look, man. I got one that we could get into it all. As long as that shit don't come back to me, it's fair. Don't be asking me for nothing. Don't go buy whatever you gonna buy, and then be like, "Hey, like, let me." No. You better keep that receipt. Don't let it come back to me. You do whatever. Hey, look. This is how me and my wife operate. We got our joint. We got our separates. I don't ask what's over there. She don't ask what's over here. But if it starts slicing into that joint, let's talk.
Yeah.
Don't come back with that bag and then I see swiped on the card Chipotle. Oh.
Okay, wait. So to y'all, what is a big purchase then?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It depends on what's a big purchase.
A bag.
I mean, big purchases.
A bag can be mad money.
I was about to say it depends on the bag.
You talking a Birkin?
Yeah, no, well, you gonna know if she got a Birkin. You gotta get on the wait list and all that. You gonna know when that.
Yeah, I was just saying how much money bags can cost.
I would say $5,000 and under.
It's fair.
Yeah.
They about to argue, man. What?
Lewis, you agree with me? 5,000 and under?
Yeah.
I agree too, Princess. I said foul, but I agree too, because when I think of big purchase, I don't think of a bag. Like that, if I bought a bag that's a big purchase, that's for me, that's probably coming out of my account and not our joint account. But when we're making a big purchase, I'm thinking like a car. That's a reoccurring payment that I might have to double dip in our account at some point. So anything that affects, to Keenan's point, anything that affects my partner, that's when it becomes foul.
I don't care. I don't care about the price. Just don't let it come back to me because I ain't.
That's my point. Like if I could buy it, because I'm thinking about me too, right? Like, maybe something I want to go get. I ain't got time. But if I do it, I know I'm going to own whatever it is that I purchase.
That's right.
So I don't want to say that that's the case, and I think you and your partner need to have a very clear understanding of, ownership of the things that you are responsible for. So if you go out and buy a car, that's your car, right? It's going to be on your credit. Here's a caveat to that. If we want to try do things together jointly, and you're not making your payments on time, then it impacts me.
Yeah.
Right. You need to understand how that impacts, our buying power in the event we want to do something later on. But by the law, you're an adult, and if you can go get it, it's fair. It's up to you.
I guess my lifestyle, I just don't see me wanting something for $5,000 like that. I don't see myself wanting something down. I'm like, oh, let me burn that just like for something leisure for me. Like I think everything I want a probably get done under that.
But what if it's like a camera or something production wise or something? Some people would check with their spouse.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be real with business. I think it's different when it's a asset, like when it's an income producing asset. Like if you buying something that's gonna make more money, you really ain't gonna hear nothing out of me. You know what I'm saying? But like when you burning some bread on some because that's fair, Princess. Now that I think about all the equipment I got, right? But I also think me swiping that and it coming to the house, like what's all these boxes? There ain't no argument that after she see what all those boxes are for. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't. I'm gonna be real. Investment, not talking like stocks and real estate, things of that nature. I will say I'm big on like we ain't just burning it for some just to be burning it tight. Like that's just not my lifestyle. I've never been that person. So nah.
Well, what if let's just say you guys are struggling financially. Then what? It changes.
And you making big purchases without me?
Right.
That's stupid.
Y'all relationship just ended.
Yeah, that's foul.
Sure, that's foul.
I'm not a fan of really. I'm not a fan of bad decision making. I can't help it. Like I'm just not a fan of it. Like once you do something that unique in decision making, it's gonna be hard for me to trust you again. That it better make a lot of sense why you thought that we was struggling and you burning 5K on something. It's gonna be hard for me to internalize why you did that. And in my mind, the way I work, you're gonna do that again.
What if it's like a surprise trip?
If
Right?
we struggling, the only trip we need to be making is to our job for overtime.
No, wait. Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Hey, my bad.
What if okay, like you are struggling, and not struggling in a sense that there's different types of struggle, right? Like where our heads are above water, but barely type thing. And then there's like we're drowning, we can't afford nothing. But what if you're like right there at that limit? You see your spouse or your partner, they're not in a good mental space. So you burn 5K on a trip to just clear their mind, get their head, whatever. That's technically a big purchase. Is it still a foul thing to do?
Man, hell yeah, because why you got 5K to burn if we about to drown? And if you don't got it, that sound like debt. Hell no.
So wait, hold on.
Hey man, we go to the hotel right now.
I'm hearing everything y'all saying. When we say like without talking to your partner, right? Are y'all saying it from the perspective of like talking to get their approval, talking to be like, hey, I'm about to buy this, blah, 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 to inform them of what's about to happen? Like, what is the talking to that y'all are thinking about?
Either or. Asking or informing. Do you feel the need to do that?
Yeah, like in my head, like I'm just thinking, right? Like just me. If I'm about to buy a car, right? The only person I'm probably gonna tell in that moment, yo, I see this car, I'm about to get it. Even if it's not, and granted, I think a car is a very big purchase that I would be if it's a joint account, but that's neither here nor there. But for me, I would be communicating with my partner about anything that I buy, to be honest. Number one, because I'm either trying to show it off. I really want to know what they think about it. Do they want one to? For me, I'm just thinking like the talking to my partner. Yeah, I'm telling them just because why would I not tell them?
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Princess kind of pulled my car. I ain't never thought about that one camera, screen, microphone, or nothing. So I can't talk.
And you just brought up a point, Asia, that I also had thought about. Like, I understand, Keena, you was like, okay, she got her savings. She got her account, I got my account, and then we got the pot in the middle for the bills and what have you. What if you are a couple that is a one-pot household? Does that change whether it's fair or foul?
I'm going to say yes, because that immediately impacts me. Like it does. Like I think that's my thing. Because I'm gonna be honest, transparently speaking, I probably haven't, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but like I haven't asked my wife like what's over there and that in a decade. Like, because it's kind of like she's not irresponsible. So, but Princess, I think I would feel like it's foul. Then don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. But
what if the bills are paid and y'all not struggling? If we just choose to have one account and both paychecks going in both accounts, all the bills are paid, but I choose to go spend $5,000 on something, and you see it come out of the account, the bills are paid. We good. We got stuff in. Like, why do I need to converse with you about that?
I'm
just because it's one account.
I'm gonna be real with you, Princess. That's a really good question. I think it's because I've never been in that situation. So to me, we both can't be sneaking and geeking out the same account. We fuck around, swipe on the same day, 10K missing instead of 5. Nah, like I don't like the way that feel. Like I've never been in that, but that will probably be uncomfortable for me.
We both can't be sneaking and geeking on the same day.
Yeah, like on the same account. That's crazy.
It's like that episode of Martin when he bought that TV.
Yeah, like no, we can't do that.
Tashi.
Yeah. You know what the interaction will be like when we both get home with the purchase and knowing we got the same account? Like, oh shit. Let me check that.
But I mean, people are adults. Like, I think, you're an adult, you can spend money however you choose. But if it's spending someone else's money, I think that's where it really, you owe it to them to have a conversation.
Yeah, because do you look at it as in like, okay, well, whose paycheck contributed more to the joint account? Or do you really look at it as in like, this is our money, no matter how much you put in and how much, I put in, it's all ours? Or do you still be counting like, well, I put in this much this 2 weeks.
I try not to
use my whole paycheck.
Yeah, I don't like to project what my family does, because different strokes for different folks. Some people really believe in that, I think
believe
that
in what you mean, like calculate
joint,
how much
everything
I put in?
joint, everything being worked, jointly together. But I think about this: when you look at marriage, it's two individuals becoming one. But marriage works best when those two individuals do have a bit of themselves, to grow and work on independently. And I think money, it in my experiences, it works best if that person still has their identity there as well, right? Financially. And I think there has to be some sense of identity, financially, so that you can go buy things, because as you work hard every day, and there are things that you should be able to go get without guilt, right? I do feel that way, right? There are things you should be able to go buy without having to explain to someone, why you decided to do that. Especially if you're working and tolerate the things you tolerate, you owe it to yourself sometimes.
Hey, Princess, may I? I was able to process. So I think with the difference of income in the same account, I think that's why I want the conversation, because I wouldn't care as much who spent what, but I would care to know the flow of the cash and the money. So I would want the conversation, because I will probably, like, typically in my experiences, women spend a little more than guys, right? So I just would want to know, like, what you want, because I will probably adapt to that, because I'm less needy from that perspective. You know what I'm saying? But like, if your spending habits, if we're not making the same thing and your spending habits match my salary and not yours, I'm gonna have a problem with that. Like, that's not cool. Yeah, no, that's not cool.
That's what people want, though.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
I'm telling you the real. That's
you are, but it's like, for me and my wife to be together as long as we are and build everything together, we still like, that's your hand, this is mine, and we got this. No,
but that's a sense of individuality, right? That's the point I was making. Like, you still have a sense of your own self to be able to do that.
And I'll prove this point, and then I'm gonna be quiet. Princess, when you was talking about those Beyonce tickets, I have no idea what they about to be, but I guarantee there's about to be a swipe. I don't need to see that. Yeah, I don't need to see that. Go and get your ticket.
Do you care how much she spends?
No.
Okay.
As long as what? That shit don't come back to me.
I'm just asking, because some people would care.
Hey man, go to the meet and greet.
Even if it's just that's exactly what I was just about to get to. Even if that person chose to, like, oh, I want to be VIP. Some people, like, just because she values Beyonce don't mean that you value Beyonce. So some partners or spouses would have a problem with that. Just because you want to buy a bag, I think is absolutely stupid to spend thousands on a bag. Or I think it's stupid, the jewelry that you buy, whatever. Like, some people, because it's not their thing, they have an issue with their partner doing it.
Yeah. I can feel that. I'm just a believer in, like, if that's the way you invest in your happiness, I'm not gonna trip on that. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna tell her to get the pit though.
Huh?
I'm gonna tell her to take the pit out of the main account.
No. Nah, we ain't doing that. Nah. Yeah, Beyonce, I'll be right in the corner. 35, you want to sit in the front? You want to sit in the back?
You'll be a ticket scalper.
Hey, Lewis, I promise you, cash only. Hey, look, hey, girl, you come out here too. We both, you on this corner, I'm on that corner. Whoever gets the most wins.
You said he gonna be scalping tickets. That's funny.
Hey, now, man, that's all we got for tonight, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man, for the Monday Night Crew. It's your boy K-Dot Mims. I got the ladies of the show, Miss Asia, Miss Brittany, and Miss Princess. My bro Louis B. I don't know what happened to DJ J Dub, but he was rocking with us tonight. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you subscribe to their page and hit that bell notification to get all content coming out. And we have a major announcement on the 9th. We are the Monday Night Crew, and we are out.
And we are out.